Okay, so this is another episode of the Zombies Eliminations podcast. It's gonna be a little bit of a shorter one, I'd imagine, because really not much to report today. Um, Main thing is that still working on quite a few books that I'm working on. I just wanted to quickly again list the titles and talk about my progress on the poetry books as well as the novel that I'm working on. So let me go ahead and pull up this list. So the first book I'm working on is called American Drifter 1967, which is a prequel to American Poet Elegy for the Light, which is a like the whole series is like a highly politicized kind of like rock opera kind of vibe thing going on. So that's something I'm working on. It's going to be instead of like a more modern music kind of feel, it's going to be more like a Beatles kind of vibe, but it's all poetry. But if you get what I mean. And then we have the next book in the Harmony and Leafy series, which is Dominion God of this World, which is finished. Just needs to have the grammar corrected, basically, for me to publish it. And then, of course, we're working on The Band of the Broken Cross and The Storm of the World Part 1, a poetry book, which is part of the epic saga thing that I'm writing. It's going to be the longest, basically the longest poem of all time. Then we have the second Baptism of Apathy book, which is called As She Surrenders to Silent Seas. We have, again, the next book is going to be The Young Hearts Engraving, which is basically my thoughts on the Ukraine war and war in general, stuff like that. Then we have American Poet 2, Plight of the Revenant Nation, which is a sequel to American Poet Elegy for the Light. And then the biggest thing I'm working on right now that is nearing publication status is Banner of the Broken Cross and The Storm of the Worlds, a novel. So that's going to be the novelized version of that poetry series that I'm working on. Then we're going to have another book which is called The Band is the working title. It's about a band that's been together for years but then decides to quit, and about all their experiences that they've had together and what they've been fighting for. Then we have a book called The Dog, which is about a dog who goes to multiple families and basically has all these experiences, and it's about the experiences of this dog over the course of his life. Then we have a third book is The Horse, which is about this divorced woman who finds healing through meeting a horse that she befriends. And then it's kind of a little bit different than what I've normally been doing with those three books. Then we have the 11th book I'm working on is The Collection of Poems, Part 1, which is basically just a standard kind of poetry book that you would think of. And then we have Unity 2, which is a sequel to my Unity novel. It's not a novel, it's a poetry book, so I misspoke there. But yes, the Unity 2. Then we finally have I'm going to be working on a spy novel, sort of like a Jason Bourne, James Bond kind of vibe. And then we have a secret project, and then finally is my fan fiction work, which is going to be The Chronicles of Narnia, The Plight of the Fallen Star, which is my take on Narnia, kind of like a book that is between wardrobe and, well, between nephew and wardrobe. So that's where it takes place. But yeah, those are the books I'm working on. So pretty much swamped right now with both work and with all the stuff I'm working on. I'm really excited about the novel that's being finished. It's gonna be amazing once I get done with it. So that's my thoughts on that. I've never written a novel before, but I feel like this novel is kind of like it's like an epic Lord of the Rings kind of vibe. So it's kind of like the best thing I've ever written in my life, and it has all these scenes about characters, um, basically facing these magical kind of things that they're dealing with. Like they're looking for artifacts, they're exploring different worlds and universes. A lot of characters going through a lot of bad situations, death, destruction, war, and this demon trying to take over the world. So it's basically the characters are trying to, they're looking for the crown of King David, which is the only artifact that will give someone the power to defeat the dreadful King of Hell, who is the Dark Lord of the novel. So that's going to be exciting. It's a part of a 13-book series, as I mentioned earlier. And then also, in addition to that, I'm gonna start doing some poetry busking again, sitting out like on a street corner with a table, chair, and a typewriter, and start to solicit to write poems for people. That's gonna be fun. Also, been trying to grow my investments over time. It's been really slow, but it's happening. And then working on reading books as well. The current book I'm reading is The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. It's really slow progress, but it's gonna happen. Eventually, it'll be done. And that's just the stuff I'm working with right now. I feel like for a lot of people, the economy is complete crap right now, so it's hard to even get a job or get any money. A lot of jobs pay $20 per hour, and it's like, can you even live off that? The answer is no. So it's like it's tough for a lot of people right now if you're not working an 80-hour week, basically. Um, but yeah, I'm just doing the best I can in life. I think people really, in order to survive, because of how much rent is going up, you really have to be living off of investments to a certain extent to be even to be able to pay rent. But just my thought on that is if you don't have that original foundation built up, it's like you can't even thrive or survive. So, but that's just my thoughts on that. I did see the Dune Part Two movie. I thought it was an excellent movie. It's kind of like sort of like a Messiah figure, a twist on the Messiah figure trope in fiction. Except this time, it turns out to be like the whole idea that Paul Atreides is the Messiah turns into like a disaster because the whole point is like he's gonna go destroy the world based on the war that he starts. And I think so what's his name, Frank Herbert, was doing a really good job of showing the dangers of certain types of religion and how they can destroy someone's life completely. So that's what the my thoughts on that movie. But everyone's rooting for Paul Atreides the whole time, and then he ends up being this person who kills billions of people. So that's my thoughts on that. And I have a lot to say, especially working at a call center. That's all I do is talk all day to people. So if there's nothing else, if there's nothing else I can think of, I don't think I have anything else. That's all I had for now. This is going to be episode 10 of the Zombies Eliminations podcast, and subscribe for more. Really struggling with subscribers. I just lost a subscriber recently, so working on building that back up. So anyway, have a good day, and thanks for listening.